Hello and welcome. We are here with hello and welcome. I didn't even say this is Japan, but that we are here for the SummerSlam predictions. It is this weekend, 2 nights, and we are going to go night by night. So let's start off with night one, and it's a pretty loaded card. I feel like we're gonna get a lot more craziness on night one to a certain extent because there's a lot of different stuff that could be like title changes and stuff. But I do think we got a lot of good stuff. So let's just jump into it. We start off with Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. I think obviously the best thing here is to have Karrion Kross win and Sami Zayn take and turn heel. That is like my full prediction of being like that's what it should be because Karrion Kross could definitely use this big boost. Having Sami Zayn turn heel, I think will be great with who I think eventually is going to be the heavyweight champion. So I think it will be another good decision there. And I think it's just honestly the best thing for it. I could honestly even see Sami Zayn turning heel and joining Karrion Kross and them tear apart as a tag team, and which would also be a phenomenal idea. There is so much stuff that could come from this match, or it could just be an absolutely just nothing, just a throwaway match. They finish off the feud and go separate ways, which would be very sad because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that could happen. So we'll see how it is, but yeah, my official thing is Karrion Kross. Next up, which they kind of like originally was kind of showing this as the main event, but I don't think it's actually going to be Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. This is a weird one because obviously who eats the pin here? Because you know Roman and Jey can't lose. I don't, either one can't really take a loss. Roman's barely ever been pinned, and he's not going to be pinned by one of the other two. Jay cannot take the L at all, especially a pin here, and especially if it's clean. So it really kind of goes down to it's probably going to be Bronson Reed, and it's kind of unfortunate. The problem with this group of Seth Rollins, with no Seth Rollins, it just doesn't feel like it has a lot of bite. They really got to do something with them, and I really feel like the tag team titles might be the call and get them off of the Judgment Day. I'm not really against it because the Judgment Day has been pretty decent, but the problem is it's just what do you this group needs something. They need something to be going after and doing because it makes them look tougher if they actually have some gold around their best. It's kind of why Solo as a tribal chief did not work because he didn't have the belt, he didn't have anything, so he just kind of was there. And now that he has that US title, his group does seem a little bit more legitimate compared to the bloodline that he had. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, I believe it's going to be Jay and Roman winning this. There's a lot of talks that there's possibly that Jay could turn on him. I would be fine with that. I think it would be a nice little touch of it. Obviously Jay's a big baby face, so I think it'd be weird to change him right then and there. But they have hinted that there's going to be one big change, so I guess this could be it. Next up, we have the Judgment Day versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss for the women's tag team titles. Now, honestly, this is kind of a 50-50 thing. I feel like if you're going to go with the hot hand, then you definitely go Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. I think they're extremely over right now. Their team chemistry is really good. It has people cheering for Charlotte Flair, which they have not been able to get with a lot of people, but this is the thing. That's the call to do. You let them win here and do it. But for the Judgment Day storyline, I feel like you gotta have them retain. I could see them dropping the titles here and then picking up the titles towards when Liv Morgan's back. But then again, it kind of goes down to like Liv when she comes back, she's gonna be mad that she got replaced and that Roxanne took her spot. But if they win the titles themselves together, then it's not necessarily as much ground to stand on. So depends on how much Liv Morgan is out, what you do here. I'm gonna go with Judgment Day. I feel like their storyline that they're trying to do requires that they still have those tag team titles. It's kind of similar to how Liv had to hold on to that heavyweight title until Rhea was back to finish out that story because it just didn't make a lot of sense to have anything in between that. Next up, we have Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Now, I guess if Drew makes it back, I think he got the private jet to finally make it back from England. I think then he's going to make this match, but this match is kind of just one of those matches. Like, I'm not excited for it at all. We got 12 matches on the card. I think that would be my bottom match of being the least excited for. It's just not going to be great wrestling, not going to be really great much of anything. but hopefully it's entertaining enough to, draw some time. So I think it's going to be Randy Orton and Jelly Roll that wins here. I think Jelly Roll picks up the pin against Logan Paul. Um, it can really go either way. I would not bet any type of money on this type of match. Next up, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. I believe Jade Cargill wins here. I feel like we need to have some title changes here that kind of shuffle stuff, and I think this would be the safest one. Obviously, the other titles that are up towards the top, there's a lot that's going in between them, but I do think Jade Cargill wins here. I think that her destiny is to be with Bianca Belair, and when Belair comes back, she would have a built-in rivalry. Not to mention they could run Jade and other people in the next couple weeks and months, depending on how long Bianca's out, and it's just an overall good idea. Next up for night one, I guess would be the main event. It is Gunther versus CM Punk. Now again, I believe this is another title change. I feel like this is the call here. I think CM Punk with the title is perfect here. He can redo a bunch of stuff. We could see a bunch of things. The only problem that I have with it, and this is only reason why I'm like, I don't really know if I want to see that, is that if Crown Jewel is champion versus champion, I don't want to see CM Punk and John Cena again. And maybe John Cena doesn't retain at SummerSlam, but at the moment, that's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, I'm going to go with CM Punk. But yeah, we'll jump into night two. Night two is, also just stacked. It's 6 championship matches. They have it perfect on this side compared to the only 3 on the other one. I thought it was interesting that they stacked them all on tonight too, but it makes sense. WrestleMania night two is like that, so SummerSlam is going to be the same. So let's jump into it. So we go with the giant 6-pack tables, ladders, and chairs tag match for the WWE tag team titles, which are the SmackDown titles. The Wyatt Sick currently have it. Andrade and Ray Phoenix, DIY, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits. Now, I'm kind of 50-50 on this. Now, if I'm going to go with completely my heart, it's Fraxium that wins this. They honestly deserve to do it, but I do believe the Wyatt Sick retain here. I think that's kind of one of those things that they're not done telling the story of them kind of dominating the tag division, so I think they're going to have a little bit more time in the sunlight, but I personally want Fraxium. Next up, we got Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. I do believe that AJ Styles wins here. I feel like, again, it could go 50-50, but they're using Dom in so many things. He's going to be in AAA. He's going to be doing a bunch of other stuff that I don't feel like he needs the IC title. I don't think the Judgment Day story needs it. I thought they were going to go with the whole Judgment Day storyline of Finn taking it off Dom, but I really don't think that's going to be what they go with anymore. At least not at this time. We could always see a second run of it. I think AJ Styles is a decent person to put in there and could set up a lot of stuff. Now, in a perfect world, if you're like picking a perfect John Cena ending, it is having AJ Styles win here and John Cena losing. So John Cena has to go after AJ Styles to complete the Grand Slam. Now, that's like the perfect world type of thing. Maybe it happens. Maybe we clip this and this will be something later on. I don't know, but maybe we'll see. Next up, we got Solo versus Jacob Fatu for the U.S. title in a steel cage match. I feel like the steel cage match is supposed to try to keep away Solo's goons, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is going to be a Solo retain. I feel like he's just been so hot with the title that I don't see him losing it right here, especially because his group's going to fall apart if they have him lose it here. Jacob Fatu could take the L, especially if he doesn't lose clean, and I think that would be a pretty decent way of having it. Next up for the Intercontinental Championship, it's Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyrie. No disqualifications, no countouts. It's pretty much a last man standing match to a certain extent. And if Lynch wins, and Lyra can never challenge for the IC title as long as Lynch has it. I really think Lyra turns heel here. I think they've been setting it up and doing different things. I could definitely see Bayley maybe coming down and doing something that costs Lyra the match, and then Lyra turning on Bayley. I just really want it to be Lyra that wins here. I really do. I don't think it's gonna be like if I really gotta feel, but I'm gonna go with my heart here, and I'm gonna go with Lyra. Next up, we got Naomi, Rhea, and Io for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this one I feel like is very easy to think of who's gonna win. I don't know if it's the right decision, but I think we know who's gonna win. Naomi's retaining. She just cashed in. It's too soon. There's nothing here that ever would like. This is the match to bank all your money on. But I do believe it's going to be the best match. I think that the in-ring chemistry that Rhea and Io have, if you add Naomi in it, it should be gold. Obviously, there's stuff that could happen, but I think there's a good safe bet. And then last but certainly not least, we have John Cena versus Cody Rhodes in a street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. I think the thing comes down to this match is that Street Fighter exists and that Cody Rhodes is in it, and I think he's gonna miss a little bit of time, so I don't know if he necessarily wins here. I know there's something that probably happens. Somebody turns on Cody Rhodes. I don't know who it is, but I feel like somebody goes there and saves Cena, and Cena gets out of it. I know they were doing the whole Travis Scott thing, but that seems like there's a falling out there, and I don't think The Rock would be doing this. So I think there's going to be somebody else, either somebody debuting, somebody there's going to be something here that happens, but I can't quite understand what it is, but I just can't see Cody winning it. I do feel it would be a decent spot to have Cody bring back the title. I think he was a great champion, and that got kind of limited for the whole big bad Rock being on his side, or like, eventually gonna wrestle him and never did. So it always ruined that first run. So I think if he gets free of that, he could actually have a better run. And he's been a great champion and shown up and done all that before, so it'd be a good call. But I still think John Cena retains here, especially because Cena's already like advertised all the way until October and stuff. So I just don't see him losing it until the very, very end. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, tell me what you guys think is going to happen at this SummerSlam. It's a loaded card, so I guess we'll see what happens. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.